Hello everybody, this is ACHAIA Akaya, and I'm bringing you another shoutcast of the StarCraft 2 beta. This is a 1v1 on the map Steps of War, which is a two-player map. So, both players spawn knowing where the other one is going to be. And shoutcasting this game along with me is a Slice of Ponage. A Slice of Ponage, say what's up.
Hey guys, I was thinking about spelling out my name, but then I realized that it was too long to do that, and it wouldn't sound cool at all.
Yeah, fortunately my name's short enough to do that, and it sounds sweet because I'm a baller. No, not really. Anyways, a Slice of Ponage does not have a beta key, unfortunately.
Sad face.
So he is not very experienced in actually playing the game, but he has spectated and watched a lot of games. So far, a Slice of Ponage, from what you've seen, I'm just going to start calling you a Slice, by the way, because that's way too long to say every time. But a Slice, from what you've seen so far in the VODs that you've watched for the StarCraft 2 beta, what are your opinions of the game as far as how it fits in as an esport and what it's like spectating it? Do you think it's exciting enough for it to take off as a spectator esport?
I do. At first, I was kind of concerned that people would stick to maybe one or two strategies. For instance, maybe Terran would just go Marines and Rods.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, just 1 second, hold that thought. Averic
Did he
just
lose
lost
an SCV?
his SCV that was building the supply depot here. And the reason being is that, if you'll notice, one of the recent patches reduced the SCV hit points from 60 down to 45. So SCV is now, and he's going to lose another SCV. 2 SCVs going down so early in the game. That is going to severely set Averic back in the start of this game. By the way, I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier. Averic is the blue Terran spawning in the upper right, and his opponent, Rollie, is the red Protoss here in the lower left. He has started his tech pattern. He's got 2 gateways at the entrance to his ramp. I'm sorry. Anyways, what were you saying, the Slice, about the game as far as the spectator sport goes?
You know, I was just saying that I was concerned at the beginning that people were going to stick to one or two, easy strategies. But as the game has progressed and more people have gotten keys, I'm excited to see what kind of strategies they're coming up with and how they're implementing that against certain units and what to do in these kind of situations. So I'm excited to see what people come up with.
Yeah, absolutely. As the game evolves and more people get involved in the beta and the game starts to settle in as Blizzard continues to patch and balance it, we'll definitely see more strategies, and we've already started to see some of that. One of my favorites was a video I posted not too long ago of a Zerg player that went basically straight Infestors and Corruptors, which he morphed a lot of the Corruptors into Broodlords as well. But that was just an absolutely fantastic game to watch. Very creative strategy. Oh, and Rollie almost loses his scouting probe here.
Man, I have to wonder if he has the APM to keep this up. I wonder what his base looks like right now. Can we see that? Can we see what's going on down there? He's doing pretty well, actually.
He has a Cybernetics core, and he does have his gas up. His minerals are a little bit high right now. I would like to see him throw down maybe another Simulator, some pylons, or some gas, but both players, as you can see, APM not too high right now. This is definitely not a pro-level game, but it is my buddy Averic who gave me the StarCraft 2 beta key, so I am getting him a little bit of a shout out here by posting some of his games online. And despite the fact that he is not the highest APM player, he is a creative player, so sometimes he does come up with some ideas that are a little bit more non-traditional. And even though, like I said, it's not a high APM or high level of play game, some of those more creative strategies can be fun to watch. And actually, something I just noticed as the Zealot moved out around the side here is this pylon is not blocking off this wall here. So this is not by any means narrowing down his choke at all. Averic has 2 means of getting up into the base once he gets past this initial ramp. So Rollie not really blocking off a whole lot of the entrance here with the buildings that he built right at the front of that ramp. And looking back at Averic's base, he does have both gas going now. He definitely needs more SCVs on his mineral line, although that mule is helping because those return 30 minerals per trip. And of course, he does have the orbital command, which allows him to call those mules in. He also has the ability for scan sweep. If you have not seen the orbital command yet, which I'm sure most of you have if you've been watching any StarCraft 2 videos, there's basically 3 abilities. The mule, which returns 30 minerals per trip. The call down extra supplies, which you can call that down onto a supply depot and it'll give an extra 8 supply immediately. And then there's a scanner sweep, which is basically the same as it was in StarCraft 1. Now it looks like Averic is starting to put down a factory here as well, so he is going to move his tech pattern a little bit further forward here. And Rollie has another probe coming up to Averic's base. It looks like he was just checking to see if Averic had expanded yet. Because if he expanded, then Rollie is going to either need to grab an expansion of his own or do a timing push once he's invested enough money in that expansion to take it down and sufficiently do some damage. Although it looks like Rollie is putting up a proxy pylon here.
Plot twist.
And this pylon is going to be hidden from Averic probably for a decent amount of time, because this is not a common area to expand initially or to scout unless you have harassing air units that are coming around, because you generally don't send those through the middle of the map. You'll send them around the sides so as not to get scouted easily. Although it looks like Averic is sending out some Marines, probably going to try to take these Zelnaga watchtowers, which I don't know if that's going to be enough. Yep, it is barely enough vision for him to see this pylon, so he is going to be aware of this pylon. And I'm guessing that he's researching Warp Gate. So in fact, he does have Warp Gate finished. I guess he's going to wait for these last few units to build out of his initial gateways before he starts utilizing that Warp Gate, which will allow him to warp units in right outside of Averic's base. But again, Averic is aware that that's there, so he is going to be able to counter that. But it looks like Averic does have a few Reapers in his main base. Of course, the barracks having the tech lab so that he can produce them out of both barracks at the same time. And he is also getting a starport, which it looks like so far he has not gone very heavy infantry. So I'm not expecting him to build any medevacs. I would more so expect to see possibly some Vikings or Ravens, or possibly even battle cruisers, depending on how much longer this game goes for.
While we're waiting for the action to kind of pick up here, I just want to mention something. Our good friend 13 referred to Averic as Averic, and that is actually the wrong pronunciation, and I'm sorry that you guys had to hear that, because that was extremely unprofessional of 13 to pronounce it that way.
13's a good guy, but for some reason he gets a lot of flack from people about being a noob for various reasons. Pronunciation of names being one of them. Anyways, it looks like Averic is moving his Reapers out, possibly going to try to do some harassment. Unfortunately for him, though,
there's a lot of units right there.
There are a lot of units, and there's only a few spots on the front entrance here that he can get into the base. Over by the main expansion for the Protoss player looks like the safest bet, because he won't run into any units immediately. Although it looks like he's going to come up right where all these Stalkers and Zealots are, which would be bad news. Bears. That's bad news for his Reapers. And they are going to get taken out relatively quickly. He does manage to get 2 of them in the base, although they have already lost a little bit of health there, and those Stalkers are doing some damage to him right now. That was a slice of bonus. Although for some reason, oh my goodness, it looks like DTs are in Averic's base. So DT is going to town on his factory right now. Now going back for his mineral line. Averic does have a turret back there, so he's going to be aware of it. Although it looks like Rollie is going straight for the turret. And it looks like the Reapers, I got a little tongue-tied there, have been taken care of. And Averic able to get some Marauders back to the back of his mineral line and take out these DTs. Actually, it looks like he took down 1, but there's still 1 loose in his base, so he's going to need to be very aware of that, as he has lost the main turret back by his mineral line. He is putting some more up right now, but he is reliant upon scan sweep right now to keep track of his units. One thing to also notice is that with the reduction in HP for SCVs, DTs now one-shot SCVs. So SCVs go down very, very quickly to DTs with that recent patch change. And Averic does have 1 Banshee